Good evening. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening. This is my second time on today for my March Madness. I am Julie. Welcome to Creations by Julie. Ed is behind the camera as usual to catch your comments or your questions, anything that you have. He's checking to see if we're live. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. I haven't heard his yet.
I've turned it down and I can't tell where we're live.
Yeah. Easter egg and bunny is the one for today. So we are on. Did you find it?
Way back, so I know when.
So you can catch comments. Good evening, Maria. Thank you for being here. I think you're the first one on. Okay. You got it yet? No. I don't know, but sitting here looking at the camera, I feel crooked. Am I crooked?
You're not crooked, but half your head's cut off.
Oh.
I can't.
Okay, let's see. Let me get Ed on the right thing here. You've got something running there for one thing. Okay.
Yeah, I'll cut your head off.
Yeah, well, that's okay most of the time, you know. It would be okay with me if you never showed anything but my hands. I'd be fine with that. Okay, so tonight we're going to do actually two projects. We're going to do an Easter egg with scrapbook paper and material, and then we're going to do a cute little flat bunny, not the tall bunnies. If you were on my live at 12:30, you saw we actually did this one live. I had most of this one made. These are made with spindles from Lowe's, and if you want to make a set, this is the 14-inch spindle. This is the 6-inch spindle, I think. Didn't we say? They don't come with the bottoms. They come with screws, and you have to put a bottom on them. But they sell one, I believe they said, is 9 inches. So if you wanted to do a set of 3, my Lowe's did not have the 9-inch one. So I just did a daddy, and this could be a little girl or whatever. But I'm just going to use the 2. But go back and watch that live. That was from 12:30 today. And tonight we're going to work on, this is just I believe these eggs are smaller than what I got last year from the Dollar Tree. But they're fine. They'll be cute. So we're going to start with our egg tonight, and I'm just going to cut off that little piece, and we're going to Mod Podge. And I've got this pretty rose paper. I don't think it matters which way the rose paper goes, but it looks like there's some writing on it. So I'm pretty sure it goes this way. So I'm going to kind of figure about how far up I want that to be, maybe a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and flip my egg over and mark this so that I can cut out that portion. And then I'm going to mark my material also. This is the material that I got from, make sure that's right. This is the material I got from Hobby Lobby, and I thought was really pretty. And it's actually got some rose things in it now. But now if you look at it, there really is an upside down and a right way. So let me make sure I get my material, because the little rose thing has got a bow. So we're going to go this way. And I actually want one little panel here, kind of in the middle of our egg.
Miss Karen Hunter says hi, y'all.
Hi, Karen. Glad you made it. Okay, so I'm going to try to turn this over and mark this pretty close, because you know you can't sand off extra with the fabric as well as you can the actually I folded that down, and I probably shouldn't have, because I don't want to cut. Okay, I'm going to have to raise this up because I don't want to cut that piece of fabric in two. So I'll put it back down right here. Make sure I get it right, and I'm going to go ahead and come up. And I'm pretty sure I came up far enough on both. Okay, so we're going to set these two aside for a second. I'm going to go ahead and put Mod Podge on here because we're going to use the iron-on method, and I'm just going to Mod Podge the whole thing quickly. These are fairly easy and quick crafts, and that's pretty much what I wanted to do all month with you. Something that you could do for not a lot of money, and it wouldn't take you a lot of time to do it, but would make really cute decor. I'm not going to worry about the hole in the top of this because the paper's going to cover it. Sometimes, and this was already painted white, I just have to make sure I have plenty of Mod Podge. They do make a fabric Mod Podge. I'm just using my regular Mod Podge. I think it'll be fine. I mean, I'm just putting it on my fireplace, so, you know, if I was putting it in the shop to sell, I would probably make sure I used fabric Mod Podge on the bottom part, but I don't think this is going to matter. I just want to make sure I have plenty of it on there that will catch that fabric. Did I see Ed have a hand lifted?
No.
No? Okay.
I thought I seen a motion when I sat down and I looked to see if I had a line of sight.
Okay, so I'm just covering this with Mod Podge, and we're going to let it dry. Then we're going to use our iron on it. So while that's drying, I will also go ahead. Where's my little bunny? I'm going to give away this bunny tonight at the end of the live, or towards the end of the live. So you want to stick around. I thought about covering the bunny with fabric, and I went ahead and painted the back of this little bunny. But then I changed my mind because there's such little bitty places right here, and you know you can't take a sanding thing on material very well. So I'm just going to cover it with some of this scrapbook paper to kind of match my egg. I'm going to try to get it over, and then I'm going to draw the bunny. And then we'll decorate both of them to where they kind of match. So let me trace around this bunny. And then I will put Mod Podge on him. I'm not even sure I can trace up in there. That probably will have to be with a sanding block or a nail file to get up in that little area. I was afraid it would just be too difficult to try to do that with fabric. So, okay. And I want him going this way. I did find that when I took the tag off of this, I bought these last year, and evidently they were in the shed, and so this was kind of hard. It was kind of melted, so I got it off. You could use some Goo Gone if you need to, but I was able to peel it off, but then I kind of sanded it a little bit, so I didn't have that glue on there. But it worked fine. I just took a sanding block and sanded it just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna, I do have my heat gun in here if we have to dry this, but I believe the egg will be dry by the time I get stuff cut out. And then the fun starts. We can start decorating them. Again, I just kind of have to turn it to where I can see and make sure Mod Podge is, it's real hard when something's really white or light wood.
Right there by your finger.
Yeah, I hadn't got that far down yet.
I thought I was being helpful.
You were, but I just hadn't got there yet. But I have to turn it and make sure. I did not fool with painting the front of this, just the sides and the back. Okay, so I believe that's covered really well. Whoops. So I'm going to take this and set it aside. I probably will not put anything over the top of either one of these to seal them because I'm going to be using them in the house.
Karen Hunter won't know how Millie's paw is.
She's good. She actually left. Would you get me a paper towel again, a wet paper towel or a rag? She actually left the bandage on until the next morning. She had chewed part of it, but they had wrapped it pretty tight. The funny thing is, she wasn't limping until they put that bandage on, and then she was trying to hop around on 3 legs. But it was tight, and she just didn't like it at all. I need it wet. Did you wet it? Sorry. But yesterday, after she went outside and kind of got in the garden digging a little bit, it was really muddy and dirty looking, and they actually called from the vet to check on her and told Ed he could go ahead and cut the bandage off. So she's been fine. They put her on, I guess it's an antibiotic, something, and try to keep her from getting infection. She was what?
She was invincible till the vet showed her she was hurt.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I better limp. But Ed said she was real good at the vet. I don't know if you saw the picture I posted today, but I don't know that it was the same squirrel, but a squirrel was right there, again, on the other side of the bay window. Not the side that she broke, the pane, but the other side of the bay window. And we had to get her out of the window and try to calm her down so she wouldn't see the squirrel. But I'm telling you, she's something else. You would think, now, since this is scrapbook paper and I can sand this, I'm going to cut just, kind of to the outside of the line a little bit. My fabric I'll cut closer to the line.
The lady at the place where I got her told me, said, oh, she is so calm.
Yeah, she was, really and truly. And the weird thing was, we had a house full of company. It was New Year's Eve, wasn't it? I believe it was New Year's Eve because they weren't here Christmas Eve, right? That the kids got in the car and took Ed to the SPCA. It's like, oh, Dad needs a dog. Let's go. And I said, Ed, you bring a dog into this chaos and it's not going to be good. Well, then they get over there and found this dog in the lobby, kind of. She was such a good dog, they were letting her be in the lobby. And our 8-year-old granddaughter took her outside and was walking her, and Ed said she was just as calm, and yeah. And she was the whole time they were here. All right, I'm actually going to tear
Karen
this.
said the squirrels would be able to come through the window again.
Yeah. That one might have went off and had a heart attack. Who knows? But but now, again, somebody we know, I know pretty well, wanted to hang 2 bird feeders right there at the bay window so he could sit in his chair and watch the birds eat. Well, the birds are constantly, especially the big black birds, the grackles, are swinging the bird feeder and it's hitting one of the windows. And I told him one day, they're going to break that window. And then they get bird seed everywhere, all over the driveway, so that's the squirrels come to get the bird seed. Millie loves to go to the window and just kind of not really push on the glass, but scare the birds away. He may have to take his bird feeders down. Just might have to.
Sandy Renshaw said, finally caught you live.
Thank you for being here, Sandy. All month I'm going to be live twice on Wednesdays. I'm going to do this a little slow because I want it fairly close. At 12:30 and 6 o'clock. But you can always go back and watch the replays. And I'm just trying to do inexpensive, easy Easter crafts for the month of March.
What have you got on the top of your glasses?
There's no probably glue. Yeah, I think that was just paper.
Thank you, Miss Witt, for sprinkling there.
Jackie, are you new? I don't remember seeing your name before either. If so, welcome. Glad you're here. I appreciate y'all sprinkling it out. That tells Facebook that I'm actually doing something and people are watching, and it helps raise our numbers a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, she said yes.
Well, welcome. I hope you'll be back. Like I said, we're going to be live 2 different times on for March, every Wednesday. Now, I wonder if, can you unplug my glue gun for just a second and plug up this heating thing? I don't want to unplug my iron. Yeah, let me just make sure this is good and dry. It looks a little sticky, and I may run this across that rather than iron that. Okay, that's good. Let me hit the rabbit with it a little bit too. I have a little bit of a crease right there in the material, but I think it'll be fine. I've tried, y'all, to get Ed to craft some this month. He's still saying nope. Nope. Okay. I think that's all I need. Okay, did you get my iron had kicked itself off, I guess. Okay. So I'm going to be putting this on the top.
God bless.
Hi, Carol. Thank you for being here.
Barbara Rosecrans said hello.
Hi, Barbara. Okay, yeah, I didn't.
Sandy Renshaw says Ed needs to be a team player.
I know. You know? And I didn't cut the bottom of this very straight at all, y'all. Let's see if we can get this a little bit straighter. Of course, it's just going on my fireplace, and I probably would never.
Yeah, Sandy, I tried to quit, but she gave me a raise.
Yeah, I doubled his salary.
But 2 times 0.
It's the thought. It's the thought that counts. Okay. Okay, I think that's where we're going to do it. So I'm going to do the material first because I need to go back and put a little bit of Mod Podge right across there on the material. How many of you have not done the iron-on method before? It's where you put down Mod Podge, you let it dry, put parchment paper down, and then heat up the Mod Podge. You can use it with any kind of paper. Napkins, it's absolutely wonderful because you don't get the wrinkles. Now with fabric, you have to leave it on a few minutes longer to heat up that. Oh, prayers for you, Barbara. I see you're halfway through your chemo treatments. That's good that you've made it halfway. Okay, so it makes it so smooth.
Several hadn't
done the iron-on.
But Karen said she loved the iron-on method.
Yeah, especially with napkins because you don't get wrinkles. But you can use it with fabric for sure. Fabric doesn't tend to get the wrinkles because you can take it and press it out. Napkins are horrible. I always use it on napkins. But yeah, and then you just want parchment paper, not wax paper. All right, I am going to need to take a little bit of Mod Podge and put right here on this fabric. I need that pen that I ordered. Did y'all know there was a pen that you could write on fabric? This is not it. I have one in the kit for Terry that I'm going to give her. But there's a pen, Pilot makes it, I think, that you can write on fabric and mark on fabric, and then when you apply the heat to it, it goes away. The marking goes away. All right, I just need to reapply.
Karen says, I bought a mini press like yours just for that purpose.
I really like my mini press too. And I know I put a mark on this fabric. There it is. So I'm just going to apply a little bit. I could cut that off, and I'm going to see how this works. I don't know that I've ever done Mod Podge, then fabric, and then heat it again. All right, that's my paper. Can you get that in? Okay, so we're going to put this on here. I really like that line right there. Well, it's going to be covered anyway, come to think of it. All right. Now I'm going to try the iron again here. We'll see if it will let it stick right there. I've never done like 3 layers. I could have cut off the material, but this makes it so much easier. Okay. I believe it is. And of course your fabric might fray just a little bit on the edges, but don't worry about it. Just go and kind of clip it off.
Fairchild said, what's her making?
We're doing an egg and a bunny. Okay, so I'm going to let that cool just a little bit. So, like I said, this is just the boring part. When it gets fun, this is dry too. Where it gets fun is when you get to decorate them. Okay, I'm going to go just a little outside the edges on my bunny too, because it's scrapbook paper. I may use some of the material to make a bow for him, because I want the pieces to kind of coordinate. And I like decorating girl bunnies because you can use all kinds of pretty ribbon and flowers. And so this is going to be a girl bunny. I told Ed a while ago the pink bunny that I did today at 12:30. She looks like her bow looks like it's her dress, but that's okay. I can't make little bitty bows very well. I tend to overdo. Ed says I overdo with all my embellishments. Y'all, if you've been around very long, you know his saying, less is more. All right, we're just going to kind of go up in here. Just a little bit, because there's not much room up in there. We'll have to take a nail file to that and get that off. Now you can use tissue paper. You can use napkins to cover these bunnies like this. I'm sure, like I said, I bought this last year at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure they'll have them this year too. It's a pretty standard wooden bunny. He stands on his own. Okay, so let's get this little guy on here. Now remember, we put the Mod Podge on and it's good and dry. It's not wet at all. And I want to take, now it doesn't normally matter what side of the parchment paper you use, but I did put it over that glue a while ago. So I was going to, if I felt any glue on it, I was going to make sure I got that other side. But I don't feel any. We're going to see what happens. I just don't want the glue to mess up my iron. And normally you want to like start in the middle and go down. But y'all, you want to make sure you get all the edges really well. I normally turn it on the first little one, but let me turn it back to the first one. You don't want to scorch your paper or your napkin. But this scrapbook paper is fairly thick. I just didn't want, with the material, sometimes you have to have the iron a little hotter. And you can use a regular iron. You don't have to have a special craft iron. All right, I'm just checking my edges. And then I'm going to set him aside and let him cool. A little bit right there. And the purpose for your parchment paper is so that if you run over glue or have anything, you don't get glue on your iron. You could put the iron straight on this paper, but you just want to keep your iron clean. Okay. I think he's good. We're going to set him over there. And you can just put that out of the way, please. And let's go back to our egg. And this is good and cool, so I'm going to put my Mod Podge out of the way before I turn it over and really turn into a messy crafter. So I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and I'm just going to push down on the egg and sand off this paper. Takes a little bit more strength, muscle, for scrapbook paper than it does a napkin. A napkin, I mean, just lightly touching it gets it off. But with the sandpaper, this way you have a perfect edge, except for right there where that material is at, and I am going to cut that. We're going to put ribbon there anyway, so I'm not real worried about that. Okay, I see a little spot right here that I might not have got Mod Podge on. So I'm going to see if I can just rub it down. And I'll check it, you know, and after a few days, if I check it and feel like it's coming up in spots, then I'll know I would have been better to have used the fabric Mod Podge. But I figured just this little spot, and they're rounded edges, so that's not bad. All right, let me get my Mod Podge off of here. Okay, so now we're going to decorate our egg. When you get to this point, that's when it's so much fun, because you can do it any way. You could have covered the whole thing, and I kind of got my little thing of roses over to one side a little, but that's okay. So now we can find things to decorate with. And I just brought all kinds of little things out. I wanted to use this ribbon, and then I wanted to put this ribbon over the top of it, and then we'll go from there. Somewhere in my stash, I have a pretty lacy, it's not tassels, but I made a tree out of it last year. Somewhere I have that ribbon, but I couldn't find it. So I picked this up at Hobby Lobby when I bought the material, and I thought it was really pretty. And I'm not going to get fancy and try to get it exactly. I'm just going to run it across there. And you know, I bought all this when their ribbon was half off. I don't pay full price for anything at Hobby Lobby. All right, so I'm just going to flip it over and use my glue gun and run my glue right here and fold it over. I'm really not going to worry about what the back looks like because, like I said, it's going to sit on an easel on my fireplace. Okay. You do want to make sure you have it straight, though. Now, you could cut it perfectly if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just folding it over. Get my glue out of the way. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do is take this other piece, and I thought it would look really pretty just run in the middle of this, kind of like that. So I'm going to cut this just long enough that I can fold it over. And you can kind of center it with those stripes, so that was good. And I'm going to kind of hold it with my finger right here until I can get one side and then make sure that it's even. That is one of the little sharp parts of the ribbon, so I'm going to cut it off so I don't stick my finger in it again. And if you pull it tight enough, I don't think I need to put anything here. I don't think I need to put glue or anything right there. I believe it'll hold on its own. And you could use your finger protectors if you wanted to. Now I could have run it from here to here. I could, I could do whatever. Now I need to either make a bow with this. Let's see what I've got. I've got jute. I've got this. I've got some roses or some buttons. I really like these. They're not really red. It's almost a peach.
Karen said that would be so cute.
You just have to decide, I usually just get a bunch of stuff together and then decide what I like. So maybe just a plain bow here on the side. Oh, I need to throw these scissors away. I keep picking them up and they are not worth a flip. Do y'all have certain scissors that you use?
I can sharpen them for a price.
I don't know if you can those. I might could double your pay again.
Karen says Ed wants buttons. No, we don't. More, less is more.
Okay, let's see if I have this straight. The thing is, the roses on this material, they're kind of odd because I don't know if you can tell this ribbon. It's not pink. It's more of a peach. Salmon may be a good description for it. So I'm pretty sure I probably don't have any buttons that match exactly. But not
Karen
sure.
says you have different ones for different purposes.
Buttons. Okay, do I want it straight? When you get to this point, you just have to try to figure out what you like. Or do I want it, I think I want it tilted. I've got beige and brown buttons, but this is not really beige, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I've got some flowers, but I'm not sure. They may all be too big. These are like those wood flowers. If I didn't put them across, I could put a couple. But see, that pink is just, well,
Don't match.
it's not. And then I have this peach, but all I have are the big flowers, and it's not the right color peach. So, let's see if I wanted just to do a couple of flowers there.
Karen Hunter says, hubby took me out for a birthday dinner. Now I'm watching crafts. It's been a good evening.
Yeah, yeah. We usually try, especially this month when I'm trying to do 2 lives on Wednesday, we try to do something really quick for supper. Okay, I'm not loving these flowers. So let's see if there's anything in this bag that I will like. And I have not glued down that yet. My thought had been to use these and maybe use a couple on the, that's what I first thought when I saw these buttons, but I don't know if there's enough of those little bitty ones in here to do that. This is one of those button things from Walmart. That was kind of my thought. I'll see if I can, nope, that one's too big. I don't think you'd want more than that. It's kind of, they're kind of a peachish color. What do y'all think of that? Let me see if I can turn it around. I haven't glued anything down yet.
See if I can get it closer.
Okay. So what do y'all think of that? Still look and see what I have here. There are some browns in that. I also have, these are the little flowers that I used on that bunny today.
Karen says she has, Barbara Rosecrans says she likes them.
All right, that's not,
Karen Hunter says she has several jars of buttons from Walmart in different colors.
I've got the dark pink and but none of those are anywhere close to that right there. These are probably too big. The burlap would be pretty though. Let's see what these are. You, you pretty much just have to drag out what you have and play with it. Now those are pretty.
Brenda Basham says, good evening, I'm late.
That's okay, we're playing. You can go back and watch the replay as to how we did covered the eggs and stuff. Let's see. See if we don't do those, we could do these. That matches this really well.
Brenda Bracken says she will go back.
Oops. What do you been think about those buttons? Would you like mixing those? No. Tell me what you really, really think, Ed. All right, you liked the hot pink ones. They're not really hot pink. They're kind of a...
Egg is pretty. Love the button, says Brenda Bracken.
All right, I need to make those 3 kind of alike and this different one up here. I kind of like the buttons too. These others would really match what I thought about doing for the bunny, so we may use those for him. Or her. It's going to be a her. Okay. All right, then let's start
The
putting this thing,
consensus is a button.
the buttons. Okay. We're going for it.
Of course, I'm reading the comments. I can skew it any way I want to,
That's true. You could.
but I get caught.
But yeah, because I go back and look at the comments and I'd catch you. I'm like, Ed, they didn't say that. I appreciate Ed doing what he does because it's really hard to craft and try to keep your craft from going way, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and read comments and everything too. It's really hard to do that. So I appreciate him taking time from his busy day. We're retired. We do have busy days sometimes, though.
Tell
Okay.
you what, ever since we got that dog, mine's been
Yeah, it's like the dog needs to go outside and run or go outside every little bit.
Hey, Karen Hunter says that you can't deny you said it because you were recorded.
That's right, that you wanted a dog. All right, is that enough, do y'all think? Do I need anything hanging down, or what do y'all think?
Barbara Rosecrans wants to know what size the board was.
I don't know. It's one of the eggs from Dollar Tree, the Crafter Square. It doesn't say. I believe they're smaller. Here, let me measure it. I believe they're smaller. It's about 11 inches long and probably about 9 inches wide. Did I have it on there crooked?
Mm-hmm.
Was that straighter?
Close enough.
Well, here's the hole where they had it, the middle.
There you go, that's better.
So, do you think that's enough, y'all? Do I need anything else? I tell you what, let's decorate our bunny, and then maybe decide what we want to do. So for
It
now,
says it's beautiful.
I'm going to take it and set it right over there. Try to get it
Brenda
straight.
Bracken says you want another dog, but he's tearing up my ferns and I had to bring him in.
I'm telling you, Brenda, I had to move everything. My bay window, I have a big glass window thing that actually came out of an old church that Ed went to when he was a little boy. And so I put it right in the middle of the bay window because I have like a sofa table and I didn't figure anybody could get to it and mess it up. Well, then I had plants on both sides of it. Well, the plant to the left, Millie knocked over like 3 times and had dirt everywhere. So I just kept moving the plants in. Right now they're like in front of that window and she's taken up both ends. She just better calm down. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with my bunny over here. And we're going to get him cleaned up. And it shouldn't take but a minute. You want to wait till your Mod Podge is dry, because if you don't, you could tear. You can unplug this iron if you want to. I'm not sure which cord it is. I think it might cut off on its own, but I'm not sure. If you do it when it's wet, you could tear your paper. So I always wait for my paper or my napkin to dry. Then you can be as rough with it as you want to. You can just distress the edges.
Brenda Bracken says I just vacuumed and now I have to do it again. I agree. Buddy better be careful.
Yeah, and it's just, we didn't think the dog shed much when we first got her, but just wasn't the right time of year, evidently. That was the end of December. Now she is shedding so bad. We keep a gate up between the kitchen and the living room just so we can keep our eyes on her because she's like a toddler. I mean, you got to watch her every second. At first, we kind of gave her roam of the house, and I walked in here one day to check on her, and she had her paws up on the kitchen counter. Well, I ain't going to have that. So we keep the gate up when we're in the living room and make her stay in there, and she drives us bonkers with her toys, wanting us to throw the ball and pull with her rope, and she's a lot. She's just a lot. And of course, you know, I've had a great time saying, Ed, you wanted a dog. And he can't say anything because that's all I heard for months. I miss my dog. I want a dog. And every time the grandkids would come over, G won't let me have a dog. So they decided they'd fix that. I think it was mainly our youngest son was the culprit that pushed it. He was the instigator. Let's go to the SPCA and get Dad a dog. Yeah. So off they went. Now, had I told him no, they did send me a FaceTime. And had I said absolutely not, he wouldn't have got the dog. And I said, well, it's your dog. You're the one that wanted a dog. We just didn't realize she was such a puppy. I mean, she was born in November, so she's about December, January, February, March, the end of March, 4. She's about 16 months old. But she just needs a lot of attention. Because she loves to play. And she loves to chew. Ugh.
But I don't like to get on her because she looks so disappointed when you scold her.
She did know, when we got her from the SPCA. All you'd have to do is say, So anyway, like when we're live or somewhere, she has a crate that she sleeps in at night, so she's not roaming at night. But boy, this emery board has about had it. And she does like her crate. Oh, don't tell me I have another year or so. All right, I knew this would be a pain to get down in there.
X-Acto knife?
I probably could. I have one here, but part of the problem is this emery board's about shot too. It's just trying to get right here between these two ears. See, it's coming loose from the...
Well, it's not made to sand wood.
You don't think?
No.
Well, it's not the kind I use for my nails either. Speaking of my nails, I don't know how anybody keeps nails when they craft. You always have at least one that has broken, and once it starts splitting, I might as well just cut it off. Okay, I think I'm getting it though. May not be the prettiest thing, but there's going to be a ribbon right there around her neck anyway. So what does it say, Ed? Close enough.
Yeah.
That's his favorite phrase. Close enough.
He says, I don't think it's finished. And I said, close
enough. Or, you know, Ed, there's a little gap there. That doesn't fit just quite right. Close enough. Okay. I think that's close enough, Ed. All right, so there's what we've got there. Now that I've made a big mess right here, I need my little vacuum thingamajigger. It's not going to pick up those big pieces, but it'll pick up some of this. And look at, wonder if it'll get your clothes. Works pretty good.
Karen Hunter says her hound dog is 12 years old and still acts like a puppy.
Really? See, when Bud passed away, he was what, 9 or 10? And
close to 11.
He just wanted to sleep all the time, and I think that's the kind of dog Ed wanted. But we didn't want one that we were already going to have to spend so much money on for upkeep or stuff, when they get old. But my goodness, Millie has cost us a fortune. We've got too much invested in her to send her back now. Absolutely. But she's a pretty good dog. One of these days she'll be a good dog. She's calmed down a little bit with her running, and Ed calls them her zoomies, to where she'll start across the floor and skid and turn around, and usually he's like, I gotta take her out. All right, I'm thinking for this bunny that I want to use at least a piece of this coffee dyed. Maybe not much of it.
Karen Hunter says, give her some melatonin.
Yeah, that's true.
Carol Fairchild wants to know what kind of dog is it. It's
debatable. The vet says she is a type of shepherd. Her ears stick straight up, but she's not brown. She's black with a lot of brown to her.
kind of a gray-looking overtint.
They thought she was a Belgian Mala something, but the vet's not sure. He said she is a type of shepherd, for sure. Okay, I could tie it in with my egg with just a pretty green bow and some flowers. I really thought that I wanted to use some of this coffee dyed stuff. I don't know, we'll see. But we could tie it in with the green too. This is where, like I said, you can just play. And you could use any kind of scrapbook paper to cover the bunny. You could paint the bunny. You could use a napkin, fabric, whatever you want. And you could make him double-sided. I mean, he sits up on his own, so you could do this side too. And make it double-sided. I wanted to use some of this, but I didn't put any of this on the egg, but I just thought this coffee dyed material looked good with the brown in this. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm thinking I want to put the the green ribbon to really tie it in, and then put something else around her neck too. Or maybe just put one of those beige maybe put a bow out of the green. And there again, I'm not going to do it double-sided, so I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbon on. Ow. Let's see how we can do the ribbon. I always hesitate. You know, I didn't do one of these ahead of time, so I don't know for sure what I want to do. So if y'all have any suggestions, I know I'm going to put some flowers up here. Let's see about tying a bow and leaving a little bit hanging down. Of course, I have to start out with a huge bow and go down from there. Okay, I'm not going to glue it on. I'm not even going to cut it off yet. I want to see what did I do with those other flowers. That's too big. I think it was these. I actually have these little bows too. They're kind of the burlap bows, which that takes up both ears. I'm just kind of seeing what I want to do. When you do 3, you really should do like 2 and then 1 on top. Y'all having fun watching me play?
Everybody's being mighty quiet tonight.
They're probably eating supper. All right, so do I not put bright color? Oh, button came off of this one. So should I not put a bright color on this one? Or what if we go back to our buttons and tie it together with the buttons? You just really have to try several things, because sometimes even when you start out thinking, you know, that that's what you want to do, you change your mind. Could even give her a little nose.
Brenda Bracken said, missed it again. Had to move ferns to bedroom and vacuum again. Buddy was trying to spank him, but I couldn't catch him.
And he's a little dog, isn't he, Brenda? Yeah, I saw your ferns. They were really pretty. It's kind of a deeper. Yeah, we haven't bought any new plants yet. Who knows?
Yeah, my German short hair was named Buddy. Yes, but a big pain.
A little dog, but a big pain.
Yeah.
All right, I think I like the little bow.
He's cute because I saw him sometime when I was
Scrolling.
Stalking
my Facebook.
Yeah, I don't have a Facebook. I do stalk Julie's occasionally, but I don't have one.
All right, y'all, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Just those buttons don't look right.
Brenda says he weighs 25 pounds and he's fast. Carol Fairchild says our little dog gets in the trash.
Oh, I think that's an every dog thing.
Well, if you think from their perspective how good that can of trash smells, I mean, it's got all kinds of smells.
Yeah.
It's like
Food.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
like
for
they
being
get the lotto.
sorry for being so indecisive, y'all. Sometimes you have too many choices. and you're just not sure what you want.
Karen Hunter says mine's 110 pounds
Oh,
and my
God.
little dog is 25.
Well, Millie's getting there. She was 50 when she went the other day. She had gained 10 pounds. She's.
She got a head stuck
She
up.
heard me call her, I guess. We have a half door here between the utility room and the kitchen, and you can see her paws and her head from about here up when she jumps up there. Okay, I can't decide. This is one of those that it's like, man, I don't know that I like a button and the roses. I didn't like the buttons. Oh, Brenda, Cooper. Yeah. You're going to spank him, or am I going to? One big thing with Millie that we haven't figured out how we're going to break her is like the play biting. I mean, she's got sharp teeth. She does not bite down on you. And she, like, you go to pet her and she's trying to grab, she'll put your whole wrist in her mouth, but she's playing.
But the vet said
that's
part of being that
puppy, but jeepers.
Well, it's part of being that type of dog.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a police dog. You know how the police dogs are trained to grab a hold. I don't think I have another one of those little bitty roses. I've got those. I'm looking. I'll figure it out here in a minute, y'all. I tell you what, let's do. Let's go ahead and pick a winner for one of the wood bunnies while I finish this up. So if y'all have managed to hang on and you're still here with me, put I am here. And the first one Ed sees. And remember, internets are different, so what he sees may not be what you see comes up on your screen. So the first person that he sees that says, I am still here, will get our little wood bunny. I do like the green bow, so I'm going to put it here at her neck. But I got to decide about these others.
Brenda Bacon said, I tell Buddy no when he looks away because he knows he's in trouble. Sandy Brooks says, I'm still here.
Okay, Sandy. Send me, PM me your address, and I'm going to mail you one of these little wood bunnies.
Well, he's about 5 inches wide and about...
Yeah, he's not that little. And I think maybe I like the flat flowers.
Brenda says, he's like, were you talking to me? Talking about the dog.
Yeah. I think we're going to do the flat flowers. And
I don't
maybe
like to get on Millie because she gets her feelings hurt so bad.
Well, you know, when she's breaking glass pane windows. Oh, Ed had to go to the store and have him cut a piece of glass and fix it. And I'm so afraid that, I mean, we were lucky that she didn't do more than just cut off a piece of her pad. But it scared her. She jumped back. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Of course, it was too late to do anything about it. I took one of my magnolia boxes and we taped it there till he could get it fixed the next day. Brenda said, Ev, that's how you... Okay, you're from West Columbia, Sandra. Are you kin to Mickey Brooks? Or were you kin to Mickey? I think that's the only Brooks family I know. So, I may just meet you somewhere then.
Karen Hunter says she was motivated to lick evict the squirrel from her yard.
Well, Ed may have to quit feeding the poor little birds.
Brenda Backett says, I think Buddy's medicine's kicking in.
What?
Yeah, Mickey was her husband.
Oh, okay. Then I
Yeah.
know. I know you. I don't think I'm friends with you on my personal page, but if you will, I'm trying to figure out how I can give you my phone number. I don't want to put it here, and we can meet somewhere. But if you could send me a private message with your phone number, then I can call you and we'll figure out a place to meet. I have to meet Terry sometime too and give her her box of goodies.
She
Okay.
doesn't live about 300 yards from me.
They don't live in. She doesn't live. You don't live in the same house, do you, Sandy?
Sandra.
Sandra. I think we always called you Sandy, didn't we? Okay. But I decided I'm going to kind of layered the flatter ones. So I didn't do anything else to the little bunny. You absolutely, now I thought about putting a tail. Let me find my garland down here, and I probably will. This cute little girl, Ed seems to think I need to put some pink on her tail, and so I probably will this one too. We're gonna put the tail right here. I probably will take just a little bit of pink paint, and I had intended to put a little bit of pink here in the ears, but I can do that tomorrow or after the live or whatever. But anyway, there's our little wooden bunny. But there's a lot of different ways that you could decorate your bunny. And if you wanted to put him in a centerpiece, you could do both sides, front and back. But anyway, that's what we have. So, okay, well, I appreciate y'all hanging in with me. I will be back live, and of course, here's, if you didn't see the beginning, here's our little girl bunny that we did at 12:30, and I already had the Big Daddy done. I guess it's time for me to start decorating my fireplace for Easter. But I will be back next Wednesday at 12:30 and again at 6 o'clock for March Madness. And I'm not sure what the craft's going to be next Wednesday for sure, but probably a bunny of some sort. And because I've got a bunch of different options. I just haven't decided for sure. But thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you hanging in. And we will see you next Wednesday. Y'all have a great week. Stay warm, stay cool, stay safe. Bye-bye.